On this episode of the DWF News, I'm going to be talking about a few things going on with the Democratic World Federalist Organization. Some new updates that I think that you'll find very important, and you might like to get involved yourself. The first thing is I'd like to let you all know that we have a new intern, and he's going to be working in our communications division. His name is Brandon Drummond. He's in New York and he lives in Queens. Brandon has a history in the military. He was in the Marines. He's also an IT specialist, and that's his career focus. He's recently started focusing his life on nonprofit, and he believes that the World Federalist movement is a good place for him. At this time, he feels that we need a movement that can basically consolidate all the other movements, the environmental movement, human rights movement, other social movements, other political movements as well, and basically come together as one movement so we can push all of our agendas forward in one large agenda, which is a global agenda. After speaking with him, I can tell you that he is going to be really amazing, and I'm hoping to get him to work on some of the scripts, and I'm also hoping that we can get him a camera and I can get him trained up and he can start producing some videos for you guys as well, and then we can get a lot more content out to you. Hopefully I can set up some kind of interview with him, and you can see me and him discuss some of our ideas about the future of the World Federalist movement. So that's going to be very interesting. Some other news. I've been working on a lot of different projects on the back end. One specifically is that basically I'm communicating with other organizations. Right now we're talking with the Sunrise movement because we really want to coordinate with them. And like I said before, we want to have all of our movements come together. So the Extinction Rebellion, 350.org, and the Sunrise movement is very important regarding climate change and the battle for a Green New Deal and pushing the Green New Deal into a global Green New Deal. I'm going to be meeting up with their leadership, and after that meeting, I'll put together another video, and or maybe I'll write an article and I'll put it on our website, and then you can learn more about what we're doing with them. For right now, that's all the news I have with you. We have met with one of their leaders in the communication area for them, and basically she is setting us up with a meeting with some of the leadership and other people she works with. And I told you about Brandon. He will be connecting with the Sunrise movement in New York, and possibly some other Congress members that are in New York too. Wink, wink. You probably will figure out who that is. The next thing that I think is a big deal to talk about is over I would say the last year, I have been focusing my efforts on connecting with the other World Federalist movement groups, because you know this is a global movement, and I would say maybe there's close to 20 to even 80 different organizations, but I don't know the situation with all these other different World Federalist organizations. I've only been the administrative director of the Democratic World Federalists for a year and a half, close to almost 3 years now, and so I can't say I've actually connected with all the different groups around the world. I've connected with the major groups, the major group in New York, and I've connected with some other groups in the United States, but in some in Europe as well. But I need to put a better effort into connecting the overall movement, and that is why this year we're going to be working on one of our main programs as the Democratic World Federalists is going to be reuniting and rebuilding the whole infrastructure, the global infrastructure for the World Federalist movement. I was seeing a lot of the websites and just the social media, marketing content, all these different things, and just the communications technology seem to not be up to standards in the current 21st century ecosystem. And if we want to really get our voice out there, get more people involved, especially young people, we're going to have to improve our whole communication infrastructure, from our websites to our social media to basically some back-end type of software, so we can stay in better communication and plan and structure projects more efficiently. And going into this year, I'm going to put in a lot of energy and a lot of focus into that. Okay, the next thing is that we're going to be basically working on a new project. It's just starting and we're just in the planning phase right now, but this is going to be called the Democracy Toolkit. This will be one of the premier projects for the Democratic World Federalists. Now, what is the Democracy Toolkit? The Democracy Toolkit is pretty much what it sounds like. It's going to be basically a box mixed with some other technological resources to help pretty much any person, no matter where you are in the world, to push for democracy. Question your leaders, if that is organizing people locally to get something done, if it is to build a political movement, whatever in that kind of realm, and actually push for world federal government and push for your representatives in the United Nations to speak on any issue you want. And that's what the Democracy Toolkit is going to be. We're going to ask you to sign up as a member of the Democratic World Federalists, which, depending on how much you want to pay, the base rate is $25, and that's for like students and seniors. But also it's just $50 if you're or $5 a month if you're basically if you're not a student or a senior. The next stage is we're going to actually do like an interview with you, and we're going to connect with you and see if you're really ready, or maybe we can connect you with other people in your area. The toolkit is going to be basically provided by us because we're going to fundraise on these toolkits to provide them to you, the activist, the advocate, the political warrior. We're going to make sure you get these things affordable and all the resources you need to lead your own movement in your area. And we're hoping by creating this Democracy Toolkit, not only will we bring more voice, but we'll also help people to organize and connect globally. Similar to what you're seeing with the climate change strikes, but we're going to go much further than that. And I see those are just simply strikes. We're going to go way beyond that. We're going to be putting together legislation. We're going to be basically putting together political movements to remove people from office. And we're going to teach people how to do that, because that is the core of democracy. And that is, if you're going to build a global democracy, I think you got to start locally and regionally and give people power there. And then that's how we also build leaders in that area. Some of these people who work with the Democracy Toolkit may themselves become global leaders one day. And we got to start when people are young, and we got to start with people with little resources. We got to help them out, because usually those tend to be the people who understand the issues a lot better than the people at the top. Then the next project we're going to be focusing on is the San Francisco Promise. Currently, we're putting together the last bits of the resolution, and we're going to be setting up some meetings to talk to supervisors in San Francisco, the City Council, Board of Supervisors, and we're going to connect with them, and we're just going to see what they think about the proposal for the San Francisco Promise. And then after that, we're basically going to actually propose that resolution to the San Francisco City Council. If things go well, we'll likely get it passed there. And then our next step is to then go to Oakland, maybe go to major cities, San Jose, Sacramento, Los Angeles, San Diego. We're gonna go to all these major cities first in California and get them all on board and get them to sign the resolution. and support the resolution. And then we'll move forward to the California government and get them to pass the resolution as well. And just pretty much as you figured, we're going to go from city to city, state to state to get them all, to get as many cities and states to sign on to the San Francisco Promise. And then, like you probably figured, we're going to go on globally. We're going to go to London. We're going to go to Moscow. We're going to go to Tokyo, Japan. We're going to go to Delhi, India. And we're going to go to Seoul, South Korea. We're going to go to Beijing, China. We're going to go to all the major cities, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and we're going to try to pull the same thing off around the world. We believe this is highly important because at the core of the whole World Federalist movement, at the core of what we believe is the problem with the current global governance system is the fact that we are not reviewing the Charter of the United Nations, which was supposed to be set forth to end war. It was supposed to be set forth to end a lot of the problems that we see proliferating today in the world. So obviously there's something wrong at the core of the United Nations that we need to change to make it more effective. And that's what the San Francisco Promise is all about. So I'll be letting you guys know more about that as time passes. Right now, we're still building up a lot of we're still largely in the planning phase, but soon with this project, probably in a month or so, we're going to be moving on to the lobbying phase and promoting this idea to get it actually, signed off by different cities. And I'll keep you updated about that. And we might be releasing another video explaining more about the San Francisco Promise and, in the hope to connect more people and educate more people about what we're doing. So I'll keep you updated about that as well. And if you're on our email list, remember to sign up for our email list right below. And either if you're using YouTube, you'll see it in below in the description. If you're using Facebook video, then you'll likely see it also in the description below, and you can just click on that, and then that'll allow you to get updates from us, and you can put your email. And we tend to not bother you a lot, and we usually update people on a bi-weekly basis. So you won't be getting a billion emails from us. In only situations where we really need to raise funds, or we really feel like you need to know about this because it's highly important and it will affect you. Maybe something that will lead to war. Maybe it's something that will, hurt us economically or hurt the environment. We feel like, oh, you need to know about this right now, and it's not being passed around. Then you'll likely receive an email that is not in the usual, time frame. Okay. The last thing we're going to focus on in this year 2018 is we're going to start fundraising in a major way. Actually, that's not the last thing. That's the second to the last thing. I got some things at the end. But we need to raise about $100,000 to $200,000. We need to bring on more. Right now, we're raising close to $30,000 to $50,000 a year. So we need to double that or triple that, or even quadruple it. Why? Because we need to bring on staff, and some of these projects we're putting together will require us to travel around the world, to Europe, to other states in the United States, to other countries like Russia, China, India. Things are getting very serious at this point. And without the resources to get out there and to speak with people in person, you really can't do what we call citizen diplomacy. Because that's what I'm all about. I don't need to wait for the government to do anything. I can do things on my own, but you also need to have a structure of laws, right? So, we need to raise money to get out there. And also we want to make our intern, we want to make him paid staff so he can start to work on some of these projects and help me out and some of the other people who are volunteers on our team. And then with these videos, we can even make them higher quality. If you think this is great quality, this is nothing. I mean, we spend from 5 to 10 to 20 hours per week to produce these videos for you. Really just me. But if I have more time to spend on these videos and more time to just plan ahead and have other people help me out with some of the smaller things, then I can spend more time focusing on the topics and doing research to even bring you more like better videos, more interesting videos that are really deep dives. And if I can get some funds to go out and travel, I mean, you can trust that I will be talking to very interesting people all around the world, whoever I can get to. And like, for example, Venezuela, which I'll tell you some more things about at the end, regarding Venezuela, Iran, and different things like that. I have some ideas, but the key thing is we have to raise the money first. So we're going to be putting together a fundraiser to raise money for the overall organization. If you know anything, if you can help in any way, please let us know. You know, if you think that you can provide us with some knowledge about how we can fundraise better, or you willing to put together like a party or something for us to fundraise, or an event, let us know about it. Or if you would like us to speak at an event, let us know about that, and we can put something together if you really believe in what we're talking about. If you also have some criticism about the videos and you think we can do things differently or better, or you think you would like to provide some of your own knowledge, we're open to that as well. Myself, I'm not one of those people who think I know everything, and I'm always willing to have a few other chefs in the kitchen, because from my experience, you need a couple of cooks in the kitchen if you want to have a restaurant. If you just want to cook by yourself, you can be at your house. So that's going to be one of the major things, and you're probably going to see a video about that. You're going to see more marketing material. If you notice and you went to our website, you notice that I put up the DWF Network webpage. Now you can go there and see all the videos and the content that we produce. If you would like to provide us with some videos that we should actually add to the DWF Network, then let us know about that. If you would like to work with us and you would like to connect your YouTube or Facebook channel with ours, let us know about that, and we can put something together. We can start working together, and I think that helps both sides. So the last thing, and I touched on it a little bit, it's about citizen diplomacy. They have another term for it, but I forgot. This year, we're going to be putting a heavier effort into citizen diplomacy. Right now, I'm speaking with one organization that deals with U.S. and Russia relations. Very brilliant guy. He is actually a PhD, and I think he is a nuclear physicist. This is a big deal. If we're able to connect with them and kind of understand their position and connect with people who are not like war hawks in Russia, but are interested in a new kind of foreign policy with the United States, then we can set that ground. And then we can find politicians who will support these kind of ideas. And, we can, put together some laws and give it to them and hope that they get it passed. Not really hope, but, put in the effort and kind of push people to get it passed. Okay. So that's pretty much all the updates for this episode and for the last couple of months. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to put a lot of videos out sooner and get more information out to you, but I just got married about, I think it was it was a month ago. I was gonna say a couple of weeks, but it's probably a month now, and so I've been busy with that. And I hope you can understand that I put my personal family in my life first before doing all this, but I am totally dedicated to this as well. Also, a lot of things been going on. We're going to be moving from our office because our office building got bought out in San Francisco. So we're going to be finding a new location in San Francisco. So I'll keep you updated about that. And if you can help in any way, if you can provide office space, if you can provide us with a better rate or something like that, or a place that will be really nice that we can go to, then let us know. Again, I'll put some information in below, like an email or something that you can contact and let me know about these things. And it would be great if you can help us out. But still, we have to move, and we're planning to move a lot of our office furniture over the weekend. So I'm going to be coordinating, putting that stuff together. So that was the update.